Welcome to That Davis Show. I am Kenneth Davis. Follow me on all social media platforms at That's Davis. Always fortunate and lucky to be joined by executive producer Ryan Bukoveski. Follow him at Ryan B. Ski and Ryan B. Ski 1 on Instagram as he takes a sip. What is that?
Little coffee with
What kind
some
of coffee?
alcohol in it. Just kidding.
What kind of coffee?
I think we just did the basic Folgers.
I was about to say, you seem like you drinking Folgers. You seem like you drinking.
Hey, it was free at the mom's house. Come on. She's an immigrant from Poland. You know you got to have the Folgers in your cup. Come on.
No shots at mom. No shots at mom. Listen, on this show, we're going to do a little bit of the sports, particularly the NBA. With the playoffs, we got a lot to talk about. It's been a minute since we kind of dove into a little playoff dedicated show. I'm excited to see these game sevens tomorrow. Today, of course, is Saturday. Of course, the teams that I love.
And we might actually see the games together in person. Well,
perhaps.
At least one of them.
Well, we know the Heat have made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. The Bucks versus the Celtics tomorrow, Game 7. And of course, you have the
Suns Mavericks.
Which is, I'm surprised it went 7, but man, Chris Paul.
Nobody's won a road game in that one.
Chris Paul, man, it all. And it's funny. I was on Sean and Maya with a reporter from Phoenix yesterday, Paul, and we were going at it about who should have been the MVP and the.
Wait, you were going at it with Paul about Chris Paul?
I was going at it, Paul, about the East Coast, the Eastern Conference versus the Western Conference. Also, why Joel Embiid should have won the MVP over Joker.
Whoa. Was he citing for Joker?
Yes, and he was like, Embiid only had 3 more games, 3 more victories, but I'm like, the East is stronger than the West. And he's like, well, the West is top-heavy, but still, you're still saying that those top-heavy teams are beating on teams that aren't that good compared to in the East. Everyone is almost good outside of like 3 to 4 teams, basically. So I mean, even you can run into a LaMelo Ball. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like the Eastern Conference is the stronger conference this year. It's okay. You can let it go, Paul. But shout out to Paul.
Can we talk about that for just a quick sec? Like, can we stop with these back-to-back MVP give out things? Like, do you think Steph is maybe the only one, if even, that deserved it of the last 3 back-to-back MVPs?
Whoa. First of all, I don't think Steph should have been a unanimous MVP.
Yeah,
to be honest,
I don't think so either.
And I don't think Steph should have 2 back-to-back MVPs because
I don't think so either.
But I'm not mad at Giannis having 2 back-to-back MVPs.
Yes, that's right. I did forget about Giannis.
I'm not mad at Giannis because think about it. Giannis he won the MVP. Then he lost. Then he won it again, lost. And then last year was Defensive Player of the Year, but he won a title. And he was
Steve Nash before? Does it go Steve Nash, Steph, Giannis, Joker?
I believe so. Steve Nash shouldn't have 2 MVPs either.
He should not.
All right.
Shaq should have one of those.
Shaq should have one of those. Or I think, who else? I don't know if that was a KG year. I can't remember. Somebody else.
Was it a Kobe year?
It may have been Kobe. It's definitely Shaq. But then there's 2 other players where you can kind of be like, yeah, they should have won that MVP. But Shaq is at the top of the list. But I think it's Kobe. Go ahead.
I'm just a little concerned because it's sort of like it reminds me of the Russell Westbrook MVP that we both hated.
The fucking problem. I said it back then. Russell Westbrook should have never won the damn MVP. I'm not taking away from him averaging a triple-double. But if Oscar Robertson can average a triple-double and not win the MVP, Russell Westbrook can do the same damn thing, in my opinion. Not trying to take
especially with what James Harden was doing.
Exactly. Totally. James Harden lost 2 MVPs, basically, that he probably should have deserved, and with his just 1. But it's also because you have Joker getting the MVP with a lesser record in a lesser conference. And it opens up the door for these, and that team isn't as bad as the Cubs were, but these Andre Dawson MVPs. And I love Andre Dawson, but the NBA has always based part of the MVP on how successful your team is, just not how well you go off. If you look, Jordan could have won it back before he started winning damn near then. If we gonna start doing that, come on. Like, so, and when they did it with Russell Westbrook, I knew then the system was broken. And now I'm not even the stats and analytics hater, but to use them and act like there's still not a narrative that has to be built around the winning a team does is fucked up. All right, like it's not how it should go. So now if you're the most efficient player in the NBA, but your team is mid, now I'm not taking away from Michael Porter Jr. being hurt. I'm not taking away from Murray being hurt. All right,
Which Joel Embiid went through with Ben Simmons and all his stuff.
Totally. I'm not trying to take away from that, but they were hurt. Period. All right. So like so many times in the NBA, it used to be built off of, well, if you lead the league in scoring, still Jordan, if you lead the league in scoring, you can't be on a winning team because it was, damn, you taking a lot of shots to lead the league in scoring. Usually those players were on bad teams. All right. Again, it's not the same as Joker. It's not an apples to apples comparison, but you can't use the fact that Joker didn't have anybody and he didn't have the prerequisite record to win the MVP to still give him the MVP when he won it last year. Like he hasn't, what is he outside? I know stats analytics wise, he's even better than he was last year. I get that point. But what's the difference in his team's record? Did his team improve? Did his winning improve? Because that has to bear part of the reason for you winning the most valuable player. All right. Not statistically the best player, the most valuable player. Like winning is a huge, why did we shame Dirk when Dirk got beat by the Golden State Warriors when he won the MVP, right? Why did we shame him?
Right. Or lost to Dwayne Wade against the Miami Heat the first time.
Well, because it was like, damn, you're the MVP. You're supposed to be deep in the playoffs, right? We did David Robinson like that. Who else in like the last decade, I can't remember who won the MVP and was out in the first round. I can't remember, but someone else, I believe, won the MVP.
And then you had all the Kobe years where he's just getting out of the first round, but he's the only reason why they're getting in the playoffs, and he can't win a single MVP.
You may as well give it. He should have 3 of them. He should have 3 of them. All right.
And that's what drives me nuts. Okay, you want to give the MVP to Joker, fine. But you don't give him the MVP when all things are equal in terms of both Joel and Joker killed it this year. Both of them had to deal with their team being out, stars that they were going to count on to make their team good. They had to be the total center focal point. But you're going to give Joker, who already has an MVP, a back-to-back MVP with how much that means in significance in NBA history when you go back to 90s, early 2000s when Jordan was just getting passed over because we didn't want to give the award to Jordan every year. You didn't want to give it to Kobe. You didn't want to give it to LeBron every year.
Right.
And now all of a sudden it's, let me give this back-to-back to Joker, who's a phenomenal player, and hopefully will be a Bulls player at some point. But he is not that type of dude that should be in this echelon, at least right now, in terms of back-to-back MVPs, when he didn't make his team a title contender.
Listen, to piggyback off of what you're saying, Derrick Rose won the MVP over LeBron because LeBron went to someone else's team, and it was the first year. And Miami didn't have a better record than the Bulls. If Miami had a better record than the Bulls, I couldn't even argue as strong for Derrick Rose winning that MVP. The same goes for Kevin Durant winning it. It was because their teams were at the top, but their teams were uber successful. To me, if you're not going to give it for a center leading the league in scoring, it hasn't happened since Shaq, right? Who
and just dominate, has all the highlights you could ask for in a season,
dude. And look, or you could have ran that bad boy back to Giannis again, for me to be honest with you, because he's the best player in the league. All right, he's not the most skilled, but when people say that, like he has no, listen, I don't know. I've watched basketball a long ass time, right? Put Giannis back there when they can put their hands on you. All right, and there's gonna be guys that are able to move Giannis around. I don't know what the hell Karl Malone is gonna do with the 7-footer coming from the 3-point line with Euro steps and spin moves and twists. Like what? Right. How those dudes didn't have to defend nothing like that. All right,
and like, he's not even just let me get the shoulder, the helmet down, football. No, he is throwing these beautiful passes off of it. Dude. He is running through the offense. Like you said, he might not be the most skilled, but with his basketball IQ and that dog that he's got in him, that dude is layered.
Watch, dude, I'm rooting for the Celtics. All right. I want to see the Celtics have been my team for the last few months. But Giannis is the best player in basketball. I always root for Giannis. And Giannis doesn't cheat his team or the NBA at all. he gives it his damn every time he hits the court. All right, to be that dominant. Dog, some of the stuff, it's like, dude, that's unfair. Right? When I watch
know,
that
right?
team and I see sometimes, it's like, dude, you're not supposed to be that long, that lanky, that strong, right? Like, you're not, like, come on, dude, that your second jump that quick. Like, it's just like, dude, what is this dude? And I mean, I've loved Giannis since he got drafted. I always found him intriguing or whatever when the year he got drafted. But still, getting back to the point, and I'm not saying I don't appreciate Joker. He shouldn't be a back-to-back MVP. And that goes to when I told you a month ago that watching First Take, Stephen A. and Greeny slipped. And they seemed like it was over. And at that point, you knew, media members knew at that point who had won the MVP. At that day, you could tell they found out that day. And then they realized, like, wait, we can't really say anything. But at that point, when I was like, wait, you told me Joker won back-to-back? And like, stop.
Right. And that's where it is. It's not Joker won the MVP. Joker won back-to-back MVPs. That is a rare echelon to have in NBA history. And you're telling me he deserved it that much more over Embiid?
Right. I totally disagree. So
he needed that honor so badly because of how well he played in 2 years over Joel? Like, it makes no sense to me.
And let's not forget, last year Joel was leading that to get the MVP until he got hurt down the end of the year. So it's like,
and this year he played a full year, and he's doing even more.
Come on, both of them. The point didn't matter is this: what we're saying, they both should have an MVP by now. That's what we're basically saying. It's not a knock on Joker, but Joker's team did not play well enough, and we know that they were injured. We know that the difference between his second best player compared to a lot of teams' second best player is somewhat vast, but that still doesn't help with the MVP. All right, it doesn't. Ben Simmons was gone all year and basically a detriment to the team, right? Nobody knew, and I love Tyrese Maxey. Nobody knew Maxey was going to do that. And none of us.
And there was no plan with Ben Simmons, right?
Right.
Like, we didn't know if he'd ever come back. And it was just, what are the 76ers going to do? They're just going to suck asses here. Oh, wait, no, Joel Embiid, even though, like you said, the East is way better than the West, is dominating fools.
Dude, and let's stick with the Sixers real quick. James Harden, what the hell are you doing? You know, like, I've caped for you. All right, I've been in the streets caping for you. I'm taking you down on my shooting guards list. You going down a couple pegs. You quit. And again, you've quit in the past, but I mean, but you quit again? Like, dude.
See, Ken, that's so funny you say that. I remember it was that Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Houston Rockets year. After that, I was just like, I'm done. I can't trust James Harden anymore. And this year, it's almost when you have that ex where you're not necessarily like done with them. You still kind of like them. You almost like root for them a little bit, even though they're not in your life. But I got to stay away. I need a 20-foot pole from this person. And I'm just kind of watching, and I was feeling a little bit of that Joel Embiid coming back storyline. And James Harden had that dominant, Game 4 performance to tie it up, 2-2. And then he just went nowhere, just left per usual when the team needs him the most. But just watching that Game 6 and seeing how just unaggressive, really just he's almost like a one-trick pony when it comes to passing and being a point guard. And we know as a shooting guard how reliant he is against the line. And it was just the same thing you normally see from James Harden. And I was just sitting there shaking my head like, I knew it. I was waiting for it. I knew it was coming.
Dude, I apologize to anybody that I've debated about James Harden in the past. I was wrong.
And I'm with you. He was one of my favorite dudes. I love this dude. I wanted to root for him. I wanted to be the guy saying, see, James Harden can do it in the playoffs, but he just can't. He just can't.
He doesn't have the dedication that's needed to reach that level of excellence. He doesn't have that in him. He's somewhere at a strip club right now. I mean, fuck him. You know, like I just told, like Joel Embiid's face is broken.
Right.
Broken. And you only shoot 2
with
shots?
Like the ball into his face.
Yeah, you only took 2 shots in the second half, bro. You didn't go out with your guns ablazing.
And you're completely useless without the ball in your hand. Dude. So what are you doing if you're not shooting?
You're trying to sabotage Doc, right? Like, so what? D'Antoni can come there and you guys can forget defense, right? Like, come on, dog.
I want my system back. I want to just throw lobs to Joel.
Sorry, that's Joel's team, buddy. That's not going. I'm happy they had a team meeting.
I'm
Joel
blanking on the center that they had in Houston that they traded away to Atlanta.
Clint Capella.
Yeah, is he gonna like get a Capella trade going? Like, I need a big man that's just going up for the alley oop. I don't need this big man with the Euro dominating everybody.
I'm happy Tyrese Maxey didn't want to sit next to you. I think that was game 3, whichever game that was, because he's out there giving it his effort. Dude, I'm happy as a black man.
Yeah, if I'm Joel, put that arm around Maxey, right, like, bro, this is you and me.
Dude, I'm so disgusted in James Harden. I'm so, and it's what you're using an X is a great way to talk about that, because it is like you root for that X because y'all had good times. You knew she cared, but but you knew she was not good for you.
Right? It's like I knew it in the back of your mind. I knew it.
I knew you was no. I shouldn't even say anything. I'll keep my mouth closed. But listen,
the James Harden's bringing out the memories of the X's for you. Now
not really.
The water's pouring.
I don't. It's been so long. But look, they got beat by a Heat team that's run like a well-oiled machine. I root for Jimmy Butler. I root for Eric Spoelstra and Bam Adebayo. I don't really.
Oh, is so good. My God, that guy.
I really don't want to see them in my finals, to be honest.
I don't want to see them at all in the finals.
You know, I don't want to see them in the finals because I don't.
Then who gives them the better matchup then between the Celtics and the Bucks in terms of Miami losing?
The Celtics, because one, they don't have Chris Middleton, but I feel like if they have Chris Middleton, I still feel like Chris Middleton and Jrue Holiday aren't going to be able to get off. Nobody can stop Giannis. Giannis is going to do Giannis things. You know what I'm saying? But it's the crew around him that, of course, any superstar is interdependent on. And I feel like Miami can stop them. I think Miami would have a harder time stopping the Celtics. You know, because one, they're long and play good defense too, and they can attack you in so many. Listen, that game for Marcus Smart, I was so upset with Marcus Smart 2 nights ago, man. I was like, what? I was like, what are you doing, bro? And I get the one coming off the baseline because on that pin down, Tatum, there was no place for Tatum to go, right? And, I mean, and look, how's he supposed to know Jrue Holiday was going to cuff the ball and throw it off of him? It's still that you don't want Marcus Smart taking that shot. It was like, all right, if you can't get into Tatum, Brown has to get the ball in his damn hands. You know what I'm saying? So for Marcus Smart to come off of that and getting stripped, right? Like Jrue Holiday is the first player in the last 10 seconds or something of a game to get a block in the strip. For him to have that happen to him at the end of a game that looks like, and you're going to play an away game after that. It was a home game that you guys basically had, and you lost it for your team. And you came out hot last night shooting from the arc. Marcus Smart, it tells you a lot about the character of Marcus Smart to rebound, because the NBA has a litany of guys that when something like that happens, they may not be right ever, let alone the next game. See Nick Anderson. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So like for him to do that, for that team to go into Milwaukee last night and snatch that game, and Giannis kept trying to get them back in that game, but to snatch that game, because I was like, I didn't see them going into Milwaukee and pulling it off. I thought that's a hard game to rebound from that they lost in Boston. They came back. I love that team. I've always said it. I never would have broken those two boys up in Tatum and Brown. I thought it was stupid to suggest it because you were always going to want to have another wing. We need somebody like so-and-so, which was Jaylen Brown, because you will hold on to Tatum. But we need a Tatum type, a Brown type. And it's like, no, them in Memphis need to figure out how to get this bad boy working, basically. They need another point, though. They need another point.
Like a true point, like what you were hoping Kyrie Irving could potentially be for them.
They need another point. There's going to be times where, situationally, Marcus Smart needs to be in there, definitely to close out games. But they need a regular point guard too, and also depending on how well Tatum improves as a playmaker. But that's the team that I want to go to the finals. That's the team. That's the only team I feel like in the Eastern Conference at this point can beat the Phoenix Suns. So yes, I'm telling you who I think is going to make it to the NBA Finals. Hey, my team beat the team that you thought they wasn't going to get past, and Devin Booker was not Devin Booker.
That's
but
true.
Chris Paul is that time of the year where Chris Paul, Father Time catches up to Chris Paul in the playoffs, right? And it's not that he.
Wait, we got to put a pin in this one for a quick sec. I want to still stick in the East before we go to the West here.
My bad. All right. Go ahead. My bad.
First of all, just with Marcus Smart, I love seeing dudes, even though it kind of sucks when they're drafted really high in the draft and they just aren't really superstars or have that ability. But he just does everything, and he's improved so much in so many facets of his game, and he's just got this toughness and this dog to him. I root for that guy a lot just because of how much he turned it around. He never had the athleticism to be a superstar in this league. Just never had.
I didn't get it when he was at Oklahoma State. To me, I was always like, "Yeah, I don't know about this, y'all." Right? That was all. I was
just
like,
not big enough, not fast enough. Didn't seem to have the killer shot or the killer offensive move. Just kind of was a bruiser, which works in college, doesn't work in the NBA.
But look at his base now is the reason he can defend Giannis, right? The fact now he's knocking down threes with ease. You know what I'm saying?
And like you said, the mental toughness come back from a really bad end of game 5, and you come back.
Would be done. A lot of players would be done this series after losing the game that you guys basically had in your back pocket.
We were talking about Giannis a little bit ago, how he's just getting around these like centers and making him look like nothing. DeAndre Ayton had his soul snatched up by Giannis at the end of those finals last year. DeAndre Ayton, he might not be a great player, but he's a solid center in this league, and he looked like nothing.
No, I said it to Paul yesterday. I'm not paying DeAndre Ayton nothing that exceeds how long Chris Paul's going to be around.
Yes.
All right, that's the only way it's going to work.
Chris Paul, you don't want a Booker Ayton future. You don't want that.
No, like not at all. And I love Devin Booker. Devin Booker's game is so aesthetically pleasing. But still,
he just won't back down.
Yeah, dude. And it's funny. This team doesn't need him now, but I was watching the Celtics. I was like, man, Devin Booker looks so ill in Celtics green, right? Like he would look cold as a Celtic, right? But so anyway,
where's Devin Booker from?
He's from Cali, right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
I think he is. Let's look it up, bro.
Just try to think of the mix of a Jason Tatum, St. Louis, and a Devin Booker.
Devin Booker. No, great. Devin Booker's was born. I don't know if that means he was from. He was born in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Okay.
Let's see if he lived there.
Because that would make sense.
Yeah, he went to high school in Michigan.
Connection.
I went to high school in Michigan and in Mississippi. So yeah, he's a Michigander.
A Michigander. So the Midwest boys out in Boston taking care of some things?
Yeah, dude. So you want to go West Coast now?
Yeah, let's do it. So you got the Suns destroying the Mavs and then destroying the Warriors, huh?
Listen, first they better beat the damn Mavericks. All right, I'm gonna first say that. I'm gonna let you know.
Yeah, and they really should.
That's the only way I can see the Suns getting to the finals is if the Mavericks beat them, because I don't think the Mavericks can beat the Suns, right? Even with how pedestrian at the last couple of games Chris Paul has been. With only having a day off or whatever. They bet because that game they laid that egg in, like it's like what are y'all doing? Like you're the last great dynasty in the NBA, right? And you now have young weapons. If y'all don't get y'all shit together and get this damn series over with, I don't see any. I mean, first of all, Memphis. Golly,
I know. I wish Ja was there. I wanted to see that one play out all the way because they were fighting.
And listen,
that man, coach Taylor Jenkins,
dude,
that's a good ass coach right there,
dude. If Ja Morant is healthy for the next 5 years,
that's such a huge if. That's such a huge if with him.
He's knocking on that door, man, is being, on the rare pedestal of greatest point guards ever in the NBA.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
because
can see it.
he can shoot with the shooters, and he can dive with the divers,
He
man.
reminds me of Chris Paul in New Orleans, but he's way bigger, way faster, way more athletic.
Dude, I mean, dude, if he's healthy, and I hope he's healthy, man. I want to live some of the Derrickness through him. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, all around, he's better than Derrick. That's
Yes.
just the truth of the
Yes,
matter.
he
Derrick
is. Yes,
Derrick
he
was
is.
not shooting from the perimeter like this young man is shooting from the perimeter, man.
Hell no.
He wasn't. That's just the truth. I know being here
And
in
I think
Chicago is
Ja's just a
blasphemy,
little bit better finisher overall.
and that's saying a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's saying a lot.
Because Derek was a phenomenal finisher.
Right.
Phenomenal finisher in his
That's
prime.
it. That's saying a lot. But yeah, I think that Golden State, dog, they just armed and strapped. Like, dude, you got Steph, Clay, Jordan Poole. Now, my man, they finally giving my man Kaminga some more tick again.
Yep, I'm
Um,
noticing.
here this last game. You got one of the best
Draymond
defensive
doing
players
his
in Draymond
things.
Green. Yeah, dude. I don't see any team that really should be able to beat them in the NBA right now, right?
Even the
I think
Suns fully healthy,
if
ready
Chris
to
Paul,
go.
no, if Chris Paul was the Chris Paul from like a month ago, yeah, I think the Suns could whoop that ass.
It's that time of year. You're right. It
It's
is
that time of year where it's like it's always like it's either the conference finals or the semis, right?
Yes.
Where it's like, and it's not. And look, it usually it's a wrist or hand issue, or it's father time. As we be like, what happened?
Or
Or the
hamstring.
shoulder.
Don't forget the hamstring.
Yeah, dude. It's like, damn, Chris, not right now, Chris. Somebody needs to get that man some
Who's got the
steroids.
damn scotch tape? Chris is falling apart again.
So I can't now. I would prefer the Suns to win it. Even though I did believe that I believe Golden State still had 2 more titles in them, depending on how they got their team together. They could have 3, to be honest with you. But I think they have at least 2 more finals in them. Let me put it like that: 2 more finals in them with how well they've constructed that roster. You got to take advantage of those years where your players are hurt and you can get up in the draft.
And
like
all these young contracts, the young players on the cheap ass contracts they have.
Right. I mean, imagine if Wiseman is just straight. You know what I'm saying? Like, just imagine if he's just straight, dude. I mean, because if he's straight, you could deal him and get somebody may give you something because they may think they can get more out of him. But that team is so well put together by the Suns. Fantastic front office. And of course, Steve Kerr is an excellent coach. Hope he gets back soon. But still, I don't think anybody's beating Golden State. And I want the Celtics to win. I'd be surprised. I think they have a chance, but it's like, man, Golden State is just Golden State, man. So now it's just the truth. Now I'm taking my heart out of it. I think it'd be hard for any of these teams to defeat Golden State, but I do want to see the Celtics because I think they can get out on them like Miami could, but I think they can score with the Warriors more than Miami could score with the Warriors. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think, and they can score in a myriad of ways where Miami, I feel like once the Warriors kind of figure them out, it's going to be hard for them to consistently keep up with them over 4 games for them to, as far as them getting victories versus the Golden State Warriors.
So your finals prediction, ultimate matchup.
Celtics. This is a preference. Celtics, Warriors is my finals prediction.
And when you say preference, that's like, do you think Miami could sneak in there, or is this?
Yeah, I think it's I think the Suns are out. I think the Suns. If the only way that, and of course this is just the truth, the numbers add up to it. The only way I don't see the Warriors in the finals is if they lose Game 7 tomorrow. All right, like that's the only way, and it's a Game 7. You know what I'm saying? Like you may just be cold, and Luka and Jalen Brunson may just go the hell off. You know, shots.
Well, that's been it for the Mavericks. When they shoot well, they can't lose.
Listen,
and it's only been at home.
Shout out to Jalen Brunson coming out, his coming out party when that check is about to be cashed in free agency coming up, right? Shout out to
Villanova boys.
Also, he's a Chicagoland kid. Yeah, Rick Brunson is like from this area, but he's from, I don't know what part of Chicagoland he was in, but I believe Jalen went to high school, I believe, in our area. You know what I'm saying? Since I'm looking up stuff, let me.
Man, those Villanova teams. Too bad we
Man,
don't have the Dante DiVincenzo going on as well around here.
let's see.
Remember that Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson,
So
Villanova team? They were good.
he went to Stevenson High School.
Oh, damn.
He was born in New
Stevenson.
Jersey. He went to Stevenson in Lincolnshire, Illinois. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I remember his father. Yeah, he was, people knew about Jalen Brunson. But shout out to him doing it at the right time, helping carry that team, particularly when Luka was out, but helping carry that team. Boy, go get your bread, Jalen Brunson. Go as you go to New York. Go get your bread. It's one of the teams.
Does he become a Nick?
I know. Listen, but you're gonna be paid. The wins aren't gonna be there, Jalen, but the money will. The money will.
And Tom Thibodeau, he'll probably move on pretty soon. Then those practices will get a little easier. No big deal.
Exactly. But yeah. So who do you have? What's your? Let me get your breakdown of who do you think is going to make it and who's going to win it all.
I'm very worried it's going to be Miami, Golden State. And it's more so the Miami. I do not want to see Miami at all in those finals. Even though they're a good team and everything, there's just no sex appeal for me with Miami. I don't get Jimmy. I don't have a problem with Jimmy, but I also kind of have a problem with Jimmy. Like, I kind of get tired of the act a little bit after a while. But Jimmy. Overall, I would want to see those Celtics Warriors. I think I really can't decide between Suns. Warriors, who I'd rather see in the finals. I just want to see that matchup. I ultimately think the Warriors would probably win it, though. Just because, we talked about Chris Paul time.
It's that time. Look, this has nothing to do with this. Just after that Sixers game, hearing Jimmy walk through saying, you chose Tobias Harris over me and how he wants to play with Joe.
That was good.
I feel like the NBA, I feel like the NBA needs to just go ahead and just ruin Miami and be like, listen, look, you guys, we need to make this happen. Jimmy's got to go back to the Sixers. We need him, you know what I'm saying, on the East Coast. Clearly Miami.
That was a big mistake by them.
It was a huge mistake, dog. It was a huge mistake.
Tobias Harris.
Yeah, man.
That's a regular season guy right there. That's a regular season guy.
Totally. But yeah, man. So again, all right. So that's it for our NBA breakdown of these playoffs, which has been pretty good. You had a couple of duds because of James Harden and because of the Nets not playing, the Kyrie not playing majority of the year. But and our Bulls got their ass.
And then saying he wasn't there for his team and he felt bad about it.
I can't listen. I'm so happy Sean Marks jumped out the window this week. It was like, yeah, he needs to basically commit to us. No, I'm not paying. Listen, I love Kyrie Irving. That boy his skill level is
off the charts.
Roof. It's now it's not. Forget just his skill level. His innate feeling of where he's at in the ball and getting away from any. It's ridiculous. It's unnatural.
We talk about people getting to their spots. This dude knows how to get to his spot with that ball at any time.
When anybody says a ball on the string, that's a ball on the string. Like so he's dedicated to his craft. He's just not dedicated to his team.
That's so true. You'll see the Kyrie Irving workout videos by himself, not with the team.
Not with the team. But the playoffs have been pretty good. Giannis Antetokounmpo has continued to show us why he is one of the better NBA players to ever come along.
Personally, I don't think the Bucks can do it, but man, I want to see him there. I love seeing Giannis and those Bucks.
I do too, but I don't think they could be either. I don't know if they could beat the Suns this year, to be honest with you.
You need Chris Middleton. Is he even coming back anytime soon?
How many minutes too? Like him coming back doesn't mean he's there and you can depend on him to play the.
And is he going to be that Chris Middleton knocking down those giant ass shots from the outside because Giannis isn't doing that?
Right. So I don't see that, but Giannis makes you feel good about the NBA.
Yes, he does.
He makes you feel good to see somebody like, dude, to look at those numbers like 34, 12, and 7. It's like, what? Or 13 and 7. It's like, what are you like? Trying to get out the bed like that. right?
I
Like,
just think of like Game 6 last year when he just dunks and then comes back with that second jump block on DeAndre Ayton.
dude.
That was just the coldest shit.
Yeah, dude. So always appreciate everyone spending a little time with us. Definitely check out some of the other segments, some of them particularly not sports related. Everybody stay safe, and always we appreciate you.